There. There. Well, this is the first one. All right. Ladies, get up.
You can be seated. Where'd he go? Goddamn, come on, chair. All right. This is the 5 a.m. initial appearance docket. We're going to call you each in here individually, tell you why you're here. When you come into this room, there's a lectern in the center of the room. Stand behind that, give me your full name and date of birth. I'll be giving you important information concerning your case. You don't have to try to memorize what I tell you, because before you leave the area, you'll receive a printed copy of the document that contains all the important information concerning your case for you to take with you. If you're someone who's here on a probation violation matter that'll be heard in Maricopa County Superior Court, the public defender's office is appointed at this time to represent you, so you'll have counsel at your next court appearance. If you are someone who is released, you need to make sure that you review thoroughly the release order and comply with any terms or conditions it contains. For example, if the conditions include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime or having contact with alleged victims or witnesses, and you violate those conditions and you're taken into custody for that reason, you will not be released from custody easily again. All right, we will start with Isaac Rivera, then it will be Adrian Perez. Full name, date of birth?
Isaac Rivera, June 11, 1983.
All right. You, Mr. Rivera, are here. You're on probation for 3 separate felony convictions, and they contend you violated conditions of probation, and in each case, a warrant was issued on April 17th. 2 of the warrants had a $1,250 bond. The remaining one had a $750 bond. Your next court date will be your revocation arraignment hearing at Superior Court in downtown Phoenix on June 3rd at 8:30, and your warrants, your orders right over there. You can pick it up when you go back through that door. Adrian Perez, and then it'll be James Gladney. Full name, date of birth?
2000.
Full name?
Adrian Perez.
All right, Mr. Perez, you're on felony probation here in Maricopa County. They contend you violated conditions of probation. On April 24th, a warrant for your arrest was issued with a $50 bond. Your next court date now will be June 3rd at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix, and your order's right over there. James Gladney, then it'll be Antonio Andrade. Full name, date of birth?
James Matthew Gladney, 12181.
All right, Mr. Gladney, you are on felony probation here in Maricopa County. A warrant for your arrest for violating conditions of probation was issued on March 19th with a $400 bond. Your next court date will be your revocation arraignment hearing in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, June 3rd at 8:30, and your order is right over there, Mr. Gladney. Antonio Andrade, and then it'll be Haley Cochamp. Full name, date of birth?
Antonio Andrade, 12/2/85.
Full name?
Antonio Andrade.
Mr. Andrade, you are on felony probation here in Maricopa County. They issued a warrant for your arrest on May 12th with a $250 bond. Your next court date now will be in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix. A revocation arraignment hearing on June 3rd at 8:30, and your order's right over there. Haley Kochop, and then it will be Richard Andrews. Full name, date of birth, please.
Haley Cochamp, 12/30/02.
All right, ma'am. You were arrested yesterday. Let me see when it was. Well, actually, let me get the date right. Let me get that. There we go. I'm getting the date right. Yes, you were arrested yesterday, charged with possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, and possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. I appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You are also on probation for 3 separate felony convictions. And as I mentioned earlier, the Public Defender's Office appointed to represent you on those matters. Your probation officers requested that a hold be placed on the new charge, actually in all 4 cases. Your new charge and the 3 probation violation matters. A $250 bond has been set in each of them. Your next court date on the new arrest will be June 3rd at 8:30 Superior Court in downtown Phoenix, and on the 3 probation violation matters, it will be June 3rd also at 8:30 downtown Phoenix. There you go, and your order's right over there. Richard Andrews, and then it'll be Cedric Ige. Full name, date of birth?
Richard Andrews, 8/25/1967.
All right, Mr. Andrews, you were arrested yesterday, charged with disobeying or resisting a mandate of the court. That's an order of the court, which in this case was the order of protection that you'd been served with a copy of. If you're entitled to have an attorney appointed to represent you, it will be at the next court appearance. A $500 secured appearance bond is set. Conditions of your release, if you are released, include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime or initiating contact with victims or witnesses, and you must comply with the order of protection that has been issued and you've been served with. Because when you eventually get out of custody, if you violate the order of protection again, the bond will be much greater. Apparently, there's been a problem with you following the order of protection enough to where I set a $500 bond. In this case, your next court date will be in Peoria Municipal Court on May 29th at 9 a.m. and your order's right over there.
I don't even get to say anything.
Cedric Ige, and then it'll be Victoria Stevens. Full name, date of birth, please.
Cedric Ige, date of birth 03/12/2006.
All right, you, sir, were arrested yesterday and charged with one count each of the following: theft of means of transportation, a class 4 felony; assault with intent to injure, a misdemeanor; obstruction by refusing to give correct name, a misdemeanor; and criminal damage by defacement, a misdemeanor. Public Defender's Office appointed to represent you. A $2,500 secured appearance bond is set. Conditions of your release include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime or having contact with witnesses or alleged witnesses or victims in this case. Next court date will be June 3rd at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix, and your order's right over there.
And that would have to be here, even if I'm not from this area.
Pardon me?
I'm not from Phoenix at all. I'm from California.
Well,
It just so happen to be
you
here.
have to post it's a bond you can get through a bonding company, $2,500. You post that, and they will release you. If they release you, you must make sure you hit your court appearance on June 3rd at 8:30 in downtown Phoenix.
All right.
All right, your order's right over there.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Victoria Stevens, and then it will be Jureel Daniels. Full name, date of birth, ma'am.
Victoria Stevens, 11/29/94.
All right. You were charged by, this is not what happened yesterday. You were charged by the county attorney's office by direct complaint with, on February 13th of last year, committing the offense of possession of narcotic drugs, simple possession of narcotic drugs, a class 4 felony; possession of drug paraphernalia, class 6 felony. This warrant was issued on April 18th of this year with a $50 bond. Your problem primarily is what happened yesterday. And you were charged with aggravated assault, a class 4 felony. The Public Defender's Office appointed to represent you. It was a serious assault. I'm setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,500. As you leave, if you bond out before your next court appearance, these conditions of release apply: not returning to the scene of the alleged crime or having contact with alleged victims or witnesses. And if an order of protection is issued and you're served with a copy, you must comply with its terms. June 3rd will be your next court date at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix.
Okay, so am I being bonded up?
You've got the $50 on the drug case I just told you about. I'll keep in place. I would have released you on your own recognizance on that matter, but for the $1,500 bond. And if you don't get out, I want you to get credit on the $50 bond too. Yes, you can bond out. It's $1,500 and $50. If a bonding company, it's a bond you can get through a bonding company. It's not cash. There you go.
Thank you.
Jureel Daniels, and then it'll be Peter Romero. Full name, date of birth?
Jabril Daniels, March 16, 2002.
All right, Mr. Daniels, you were arrested yesterday and charged with the following. 1 count of aggravated assault, a class 4 felony, discharging a firearm in the city limits, a class 6 felony, and reckless endangerment, a class 6 felony. I appoint the public defender's office to represent you. A secured appearance bond has been set in the amount of $25,000. Your next court date is June 3rd at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. If you are released, you're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime or have contact with victims or witnesses. And if an order of protection is issued and you're served with a copy, you must comply with its terms.
Yes, sir.
There you go. The order's right over there. Peter Romero, and then it'll be Gabriel Gayton. Full name, date of birth, please.
Peter John Romero, 1/17/65.
All right, Mr. Romero, you were arrested yesterday and charged with aggravated assault, a class 2 felony. Public defender's office appointed to represent you. A secured appearance bond in the amount of $10,000 has been set. Your next court date will be June 3rd at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime or have contact with the victims or witnesses. You understand?
Yes.
There you go. Your order's right over there. Gabriel Gayton, and then it'll be Hakeem Mirangabo. Full name, date of birth? Full name, date of birth?
Gabriel Gaitan, 02/25/05.
Okay, Mr. Gaitan, you were arrested yesterday and charged with 1 count each of the following: trafficking or attempted trafficking in stolen property. In the first degree, a class 3 felony. Burglary. In the third degree, a class 4 felony. Possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a class 4 felony. Unlawful means of use of transportation or control, a class 5 felony, and possession of prescription drugs without a prescription, a misdemeanor. The public defender's office appointed to represent you. A $2,500 secured appearance bond is set. Conditions of your release: if you were released, and not to go back with us, the crime is alleged to have occurred or have contact with the victims or witnesses. And your next court date will be June 3rd at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. If you do get out, make sure you show up on that date and location. Okay, there you go. Your order's right over there. Yes. Somebody say something. Hakeem. Yes. What?
See that Bradford on the top?
I don't know who that is.
Good morning, Judge.
Minutes.
It's what?
30, only got 38 minutes.
Oh, okay, that's why it's there. I didn't even look. Okay, thank you.
If you refresh, he's way at the bottom.
All right. Full name, date of birth, please.
Hakeem Aaron Nyongabo, 12/16/91.
All right. Hakeem, let me get your case up here. You were charged yesterday with the offense of aggravated assault.
There was no physical altercation, Judge.
I'm
Just
telling
heads
you
up.
what the police report says. If you want me to read it to you,
Yes,
I
sir.
will. Class 3 felony. I appoint the public defender's office to represent you. We got a moment here. Let me tell you what the Form 4 says.
Yes, sir.
Whoops.
Aggravated assault and a verbal
Hold on.
altercation.
Whoop. Which number is this? It says that yesterday at 12:43 hours, on North Metro Parkway, Walmart. You committed the offense of aggravated assault by intentionally placing another person in reasonable apprehension of imminent physical injury while in possession of a deadly or dangerous weapon.
Which are my keys
While
on my
inside the establishment, you became belligerent and began opening multiple items inside the store. By the way, they have security cameras that has all this and
Yes,
witnesses.
sir.
All
That's
right.
how I would like to take it to
Well,
trial.
okay. I mean, you can tell me that it didn't happen, but you'll have to overcome that.
Yes, sir.
Walking around, throwing them on the ground while walking around the store. You had been asked to leave multiple times, but you refused to leave when approached by one of the employees. You pulled a metal object hanging around your neck and placed it in your right hand and took an aggressive stance, causing the employee to be in fear for his safety. All this can be seen on video surveillance, the employee backing away from you while the weapon is in your hand and you're lunging forward in a fighting stance. So that's what the police report says.
Judge Skiff.
I said is, and that's, and you've got the security cameras also.
Yes, sir. And just remember, Judge Skiff, I just got out of this same jail a few days ago. I've been getting followed over and over again from my condo to downtown Phoenix, from downtown Phoenix to ASU. At this point, I'm considering this harassment. The last time I was here,
I don't know anything about that.
I'm letting you know, Judge.
No, well, you listen. As far as I can tell, absolutely none of that has anything to do with what you were alleged to have done and photographed doing in the store yesterday. Now, you've got a complaint about something that doesn't have anything to do with what I'm dealing with today, and I recommend that, encourage you to seek help on that. If
I
you
will,
can.
sir.
But
I will.
I appoint the public defender's office to represent you in this case. A $3,500 secured appearance bond is set. You're not to return to that location or have contact with victims or witnesses. And your next court date is June 3rd at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix.
I have no way of supporting myself with a bond, Judge.
Pardon me?
I have no way of supporting myself with a bond.
Well, that's unfortunate. Let me tell
Very
you what
unfortunate.
what is this number? 28.
I mean, I cannot appear
The
in court.
county attorney's office wanted a $25,000 bond set.
I'm not surprised.
All right, then go ahead and have a seat over there. Christopher Marino. Full name, date of birth, please.
It's Christopher John Marino, sir.
Date of birth?
It's 2/24/75.
All right, you have two matters out of Peoria Municipal Court. It's alleged that, and you have not received a copy of this yet, that you committed the offense of criminal trespass. The warrant was issued on May 22nd with a $250 cash-only bond, but you didn't know about this. It's the initial arrest complaint that was filed. Then the other matter that you have out of Peoria Municipal Court will be, let me get that one right. Yesterday, let me get this up here, and come on. There we go. It's alleged that yesterday you committed the two offenses of disorderly conduct by fighting, a misdemeanor, and criminal trespass, a misdemeanor. If I recall correctly, you'd been asked several times before to not go on the premises that this occurred on. This offense is also was alleged to have been committed in the jurisdiction of Surprise Municipal Court. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance on both of these cases.
Okay.
All right? You have a court date to appear. It'll probably be the same date on both cases. June 12th at 9 a.m. on one, and let's see if the other one is the same. Yes, June 12th at 9 a.m. in Peoria Municipal Court. Conditions of your release include not going back to the location where your arrest occurred yesterday. Make sure you make your court date. Because if you don't, a warrant for your arrest will issue with a much higher bond, okay?
Okay.
All right, there you go.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Paulette Musket, and then it'll be Kathleen Hawkins. Full name, date of birth, please.
Paulette Musket, May 4th, 1982.
All right, ma'am, you were arrested, let me get that case yesterday.
Correct.
Charged with one count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony, and criminal trespass. A misdemeanor. I appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You were also on probation when this is alleged to have occurred yesterday. You had been convicted of a felony, and the probation department had, well, where am I on this? Okay. Yes. All right. Let me make sure I've got the right key. Okay. You were arrested yesterday for criminal trespass, a misdemeanor, and possession of drug paraphernalia, a misdemeanor. Then, you are on felony probation, and your probation officer, rather than place a hold on you, has requested that we do the following. On the new charge yesterday, you're to be released on your own recognizance. You'll be supervised by your adult probation officer. You must contact him or her within 72 hours. Your next court date in the charge that you were arrested on yesterday will be in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, on June 11th at 8:30. You got to contact your probation officer within 48 hours. Notify him or her that you've been released. Then, on the probation violation matter, which your new arrest constitutes a Term 1 violation, I am releasing you on your own recognizance to appear in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, on June 3rd. Let me see if those two dates are identical. No, I'm sorry, June 11th and June 11th, and, well, the probation violation matter will be quicker, June 3rd. So you've got two different dates. Everything I've told you is printed on the release order that you're going to get. So contact your probation officer within 48 hours and let them know that you've been released and what your court dates are. And make sure you show up for your court dates, all right?
Okay.
All right, right over there is your order. Kathleen Hawkins. And then it will be Pablita Valencia. Full name, date of birth.
Kathleen Hawkins, 2986.
All right, ma'am. You were arrested yesterday, charged with burglary, a Class 4 felony in this case, and criminal damage, a Class 5 felony in this case. I appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. I'm going to release you on what we call supervised release. You'll be released. There'll be a phone number on the paperwork you get. Within a few days of your release, touch base with pretrial services at that number. They just want to make sure that they can communicate with you and you can communicate with them if you've got any questions. Conditions of your release include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime or having contact with alleged victims or witnesses. Next court date, June 11th at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. And your orders are right over there.
Thank you.
Pablita, yes. He's been calling since 4:50.
He submitted it at 4:50.
Okay. All right. Listen. Full name, date of birth?
Paulita Valencia, 11/18/87.
All right, Miss Pablita, you are here because a direct complaint has been filed charging, it's alleged that on July 24th of 2023, you committed the offense of possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, and possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. You didn't know anything about this. The warrant issued in May of last year. I'm going to release you on supervised release. Your next court date, whoops, let me get your case here. There we go. I'm appointing the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're being released on supervised release. Your next court date will be June 11th at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. On your release papers will be a phone number for pretrial services. Within a few days of your release, contact them and touch base with them, all right? All right? Okay, your order's right over there. Okay. Ahmad Davis. Full name, date of birth?
Ahmad Davis, 8/13/94.
All right, Mr. Davis, you are here because the county attorney's office has filed a complaint against you by direct complaint, charging you with criminal trespass, a Class 6 felony in this particular case. It's alleged to have occurred last July 26th. I'm going to let me make sure. Yeah, I'm going to release you on supervised release. You'll be released. You need to call pretrial services within a few days of your release and touch base with them. Your next court date will be June 11th at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. You're not to return to the location where this is alleged to have occurred. I'm not appointing counsel at this time because pretrial services says that you're financially capable of hiring your own attorney. If that you don't believe that is correct, you can, in any subsequent court proceeding, request that an attorney be appointed, okay?
Yes, sir.
You know, your order's right over there.
All right, thank you.
All right, let me look at 31 and 32. 31. Let me get over to the summary. Oops, FOJ. Which state was this? Let me see. The Form 47. Okay, is Ronald Bradford here? Okay. Let me see. I wonder which state that was. Just a moment, please. Okay, full name, date of birth, please.
Ronald Bradford, April 4th, 1976.
Okay, you, sir, were arrested here in Maricopa County. We'll get to that matter. Yesterday, charged with one count of criminal trespass of a residential structure. That's a Class 6 felony. The public defender's office appointed to represent you. You also, when you were arrested, they determined that you have a warrant from another state. And so that affects what I'm going to do on your new arrest. I appoint public defender's office to represent you. A secured appearance bond is set in the amount of $500. You're not to return to the location where this is alleged to have occurred. And the next court date will be June 3rd at 8:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. Now, the matter of your fugitive warrant, let me see what I can find on it. I get you were on felony probation, I guess, at this, which state was it?
I think so.
Where?
Oh, what state is it? Kentucky or Tennessee?
Which state were you on felony probation? I mean, which state?
Kentucky. Kentucky? I believe so.
Okay. Well, anyway, and they issued a warrant for, this warrant is alleged to have been issued on December 5th of 2023. Let's see what it says here. As are many arrest warrants when someone's on probation or parole, it's a no bond warrant. So, do you read the paperwork we gave you?
I can't understand it.
Okay, well, let me give you a brief summary, and you can ask me any questions you want. If you're arrested on a fugitive warrant, it's a civil matter. You're not entitled to have an attorney appointed to represent you, but you can hire your own. The problem you have in this case is a no bond warrant because you are on felony probation, and you have basically two choices, and neither time limit that I'm going to explain to you starts to run until your local charges are resolved, okay? But if you didn't have the local charges, you could waive extradition and the state of Kentucky would have up to 30 days to pick you up, day one being tomorrow. If the state of Kentucky didn't pick you up, on the 31st day, you'd be released by us, but the warrant would still be in place. But that's if, well, anyway, that's very unlikely going to happen. If you want to not waive extradition and fight the matter, the states of Arizona and Kentucky have, I don't know if it's 60 or 90 days to complete extradition proceedings. The only thing they have to prove is, number one, there's a valid warrant for your arrest. Number two, you're the person named in the warrant. It's pretty simple. But the time limits that apply to the waiver, the extradition proceedings don't start to run until the local charge that you've been arrested on is resolved. So you don't have anything to gain by waiving or not waiving at this particular hearing. You'll have plenty of time in the future. You can waive it at any time in the future. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that you don't waive. I'll put not bailable as a matter of right. He chooses not to waive. And your next hearing in that matter will be June 9th at 1:30 in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. And you can request discuss with the judge at that time any questions that you may have. Then on the local matter, I appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I'm setting a $500 bond in that case. All this I put on the record before. Your next court date will be June 3rd in Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. If you are released, you're not to go back to the location where this is alleged to have occurred, okay? So until that new arrest, the trespass charge, is resolved, none of the time limits that the paperwork we gave you concerning the kind of warrants that were issued by Kentucky or any other state don't run until a resolution. Either you were convicted and sentenced or it's dismissed or whatever. It has to be resolved entirely before the time limits start to run on the Kentucky warrant.
Okay, I have a question. So,
all right?
I have a question. So if I make bond, if I bond out.
Well, the thing is, I set a bond so that you'll get credit. Well, you're not going to be released no matter what because of the Kentucky matter.
So will it come? Could it come get me at that time, or?
Well, when the local case is resolved, and will probably take a couple of months. Then, if you want, you can waive extradition, and then when that happens, Kentucky will have up to 30 days to pick you up. You can waive any time.
Yeah.
You can waive today, but I don't want to take the time to go through it because it doesn't make any difference. Because the times aren't going to start to run for probably another 2 months. Okay.
Until I get it resolved.
Pardon me?
Until this case get resolved.
Yes, the trespass case.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I'm going to put in your case, you do not waive. You're not bailable as a matter of law, and your next court date will be June 9th at 1:30 on the warrant from Kentucky. There you go. We'll give you a copy of the order in just a minute. All right. Have a seat. All right. We've got several house calls here. Brandy Saunders is here on a probation violation arrest warrant with a $750 bond. Her next court date now will be in Superior Court, downtown Phoenix, June 3rd at 8:30 for a revocation arraignment hearing. Tahisha Howard was charged with animal cruelty, a Class 6 felony, disorderly conduct by fighting, a misdemeanor, and disorderly conduct with a weapon, a Class 6 felony, yesterday. Public Defender's Office appointed to represent her. A secured appearance bond in the amount of $500 is set. Next court date will be June 3rd at 8:30. Erica Encinas. Let me get her case up here.
Your Honor, the state is here for that.
Oh, I'm glad to hear from you. Which case do you want to be heard on?
I'm heard here on number 17, Your Honor, but I was also supposed to appear on number 23, Your Honor. However, the state wasn't let into teams until late in the hearing, so the state missed that. The state does need to make an oral motion to seal that Form 4 because there are minor victims named in number 23.
Let me see, 23. Yes, on Jabril Daniels. Yeah, what I did, I see you guys were requesting a $75,000 cash bond. I set bond in the amount of $25,000, and with the normal conditions when somebody's held in custody in this kind of a case.
But the state still needs to can the state make an oral motion on that?
Well, we've finished with the matter, and Mr. Daniels is, everybody's been released, but you can put on the record what your position is, and if I believe there's some good reason for me to change what I set as the amount of bond, I will do something about it if in fact I believe that. Go ahead.
In regards to number 23, Jabril Daniels, Your Honor, the state was let into teams around 5:25, 5:30, Your Honor. The state did request to be admitted into teams well before the 5 a.m. calendar. However, for some reason, the state wasn't let in. The state was requesting that the Form 4 in that matter be sealed due to the fact that there was a juvenile, a minor victims named in the Form 4, which causes the state to make the motion to seal the Form 4.
Okay, and I am doing that right now. I will seal Form 4 in that case. All right, I've done that.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you, Your Honor. And do you want the state to go forward on number 17, Encinas?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. For the record, Ashley Stetson on behalf of the state. Your Honor, the state is first and foremost is asking for that Form 4 to be sealed as well. Both juvenile victims are named in that Form 4, and the state is requesting for the Form 4 to be sealed to protect their identity. In regards,
and I'm doing that right now also.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
In regards to the bond in this case, Your Honor, the state is requesting bond be set at $500,000 cash based on the allegations. Allegations in this case are quite concerning, Your Honor. The suspect admitted to law enforcement that she was planning on killing her son for a while. Her initial plan was to drown the minor in in the canal. However, that did not happen. Instead, Your Honor, it's alleged that she made multiple attempts to kill her disabled son. First, she tried to hit him over the head with a rock, Your Honor. That did not kill the victim. So then she tried to smother him with a trash bag. That did not work, Your Honor. Then she tried to choke him with a rosary, which that did not kill the victim. She then tried to use tile flooring to hit the victim over the head. In the process of that, her other minor child did try to intervene, Your Honor, to save her sibling. However, at that time, the suspect did bite the second minor victim while the victim was trying to intervene. Based on the allegations, Your Honor, obvious concern for the victim's safety, the state is requesting that bond be set in the amount of $500,000, along with the conditions outlined in the state's written recommendations, which does include electronic monitoring, due to the fact that this is a domestic violence case. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, well, I'm satisfied that Child Protective Services are involved in this case, and that she will, I don't know if she'll ever be in a situation where she will be in the same location they are, at least till they're all adults. I'm not concerned about her being able to have any kind of control over her children. I know that in cases like this, Child Protective Services is evaluating everything that they need to evaluate to determine where these children should live in the appropriate place. I set a bond in the amount of I'm going to, I hadn't called the case yet, I guess, $250,000. And I will modify, I've already, I have sealed the and in subsequent proceedings, if it's appropriate, I think for any other conditions to be imposed other than the standard, well, for example, the electronic monitoring. I have a feeling that she'll probably never get out of custody again for years until they're satisfied that she isn't a threat to the community, and her family has a lot of control over that. Anyway, at this stage, I don't think it's necessary, because there's no way that she's going to be provided with the financial ability to get out of custody. And that can always be added at a future date. Is there any other matters that you were intended to appear on that when we started, we finished before you could appear?
No, Your Honor, that was it.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, I sealed the Form 4 in both cases that you've requested, and we'll be in recess in these matters. Thank you. All right, now, DUI. Damn it. New, is it Kyle Rayner? I see Elizabeth Campbell's here already. Is it, you don't remember the name of the officers with the D? Huh? Because she's already, somebody's already, that's a sexual assault case. Let me get out of here. and unclaim it, so I can go do all the rest of the stuff. Well, the deal, that would, because Elizabeth is here, and yeah, she took care of it, I think. All right, I'm gonna log off. Go handle that. Where am I, calendar? Oops.
Can you get your house call?
Yes, I'm going to. I put them all on the record.
Okay.
And, pardon me?
Can I close the record?
Yeah.